focusing on your team. Okay. Focus on you, family. Take your focus off of all the things that are not bringing you any value and focus on you. As long as you change, everything will change. Because understand this, right? The moment you compare yourself, you lose the power to attract. Think about it. How do you feel when you compare yourself? How do you feel when you compare yourself and the person that you're comparing yourself to is more successful, makes more money, has a better relationship than you do, is surrounded by great mentors, right? How do you think that makes you feel? It doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel less than. Okay. And remember, you can attract when you're feeling down, when you're feeling less than, when you're feeling depressed. So when you compare yourself, you lose your power to attract. And understand, right? Every time you compare yourself with someone, you reinforce feelings of inadequacy. You reinforce feelings of inadequacy. Now, what is inadequacy? What's the definition, right? It's the inability to deal with a situation or life. So when you start to feel this, when you start to feel like, you don't know how to deal with certain situation and you have the inability, that's not a good feeling, right? And those feelings are strong. All right. You don't want to compare yourself to anybody. Okay. Energy goes where your intention flows. Listen to that one. Your energy goes where your intention flows. So whatever you want to do is focus your energy on becoming a better version of you. All right. Because if you focus your energy on you, the intention will flow towards you. Everything that you ask for will come towards you, which is very, very important. All right. So that's number three. The third block that is holding you back, all right, is comparing yourself. All right. Block number four, all right, is the need to win in the expense of having fun. That's block number four. Listen to it. The need to win in the expense of having fun. Now, Nano, what do you mean by that? Okay, sometimes what people do is, right, their desire to win becomes so obsessive that they forget that they need to have fun at the end of the day. Remember, we didn't join this journey, or we didn't decide to go on this journey to be miserable, to be sad, to be depressed, to be, down all the time. We chose to go on this journey to have fun. Like, yes, is it hard? Absolutely. Is this journey a roller coaster? Yes, it is. But guys, let's have some fun. All right? Have some fun. Go talk to your friends, talk to your people, take a trip, smile, laugh. When you fail, pop the champagne. Okay? When people leave your business, love them on the way in, love them on the way out. Have fun with it, guys. Don't let the business overcome you. Don't let the struggles and the things that happen in the business become more than you. Okay, shift your perspective, your perception of what's going on. Okay, everything is all perception. All right, and remember, happiness is based on winning. Okay, and every day that you wake up, you're winning. So what are you unhappy about? If you woke up today, if you're listening to this podcast in a car, on your phone, you have your headphones in, all right, just because you have access to this information right here, you're winning. So I want you real quick as you're listening to this, just smile. Just smile. I'm smiling right now. I have a huge smile on my face. I wish you can see it. You know why? You know why I'm smiling? Because I am winning. I'm right now recording a podcast that hundreds and thousands of people from all around the world are listening to. What do I have to be sad about? I have nothing to be sad about. I have everything to be happy about. Okay, you know why? Because when you change your focus, okay, from fear and losing to winning, everything changes. The journey is so much fun. Hey, you're going through some challenges, have fun and celebrate it. Some people left your business, great. Your mom and dad, your people, your friends, your community is doubting you, they don't believe in you. Amazing. Stay happy. It's part of the journey. Okay? Let go and allow the blessings to flow through you. All right. Because if you try to compete, if you try to make this, too competitive, you know what's going to happen? Competition creates a separation. You're going to separate yourself from what you really, really want if you try to compete too hard with this. Okay. So number four, is have fun, guys. That's the block, right? I know that you have the need to win, but don't use it at the expense of having fun, guys. Work hard, but have fun. Because look, guys, I'll tell you what, I work my ass off. Okay, I work very, very hard every single day. But you best believe I have fun as well. I still go and do things that I love to do. I still go play some basketball. I still have good laughs with my friends at night. I still watch my Netflix when I deserve it. I still take trips to other countries. Okay. I do all the things that I love to do and I love to have fun. I love my life. Okay. So have fun. Okay. That's probably a block that's holding you back. That's number 4. The block, number 5, that's holding you back is the fear of rejection. Okay. The fear of rejection. Do you know how many people deny their dreams due to the fear of rejection? This idea can be paralyzing to some people, right? Because people look at it as a form of humiliation and defeat when they get rejected. But in reality, it is growth that you're going through when you face rejection. And understand this, that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Okay? If you look at rejection as a bad thing, it'll always be a bad thing. But if you look at rejection as a good thing, it'll always be a good thing. You know why? Because I learned this one liner. Listen to this one liner. This one liner, I think, has helped me so much in the last 2 years of my journey, because the one liner goes like this. It says, rejection is redirection. Okay. Rejection is redirection. So understand that each time that you get rejected, all that's happening is the universe and God is aligning you with the next thing that you need to do. Okay. With the next person that you got to meet, with the next journey that you got to go on. Okay. Don't look at rejection as a bad thing. So, for example, I'll never forget the day I attracted one of my top leaders within my organization. Okay. I was, this was about a year ago, right? I attracted a huge leader into my business from Australia. She was already a multiple 7-figure earner. And I remember how many times I was rejected before I met her. Okay. And I remember doing presentations, talking to people. And I think it was after maybe 10 rejections. I think on the 11th try, on the 11th attempt, I found her. So I talked to 10 people, all of them, did presentations for them. All of them told me.
All right, let's get this rocking, guys. Here we go. Grand rising, and happy Tuesday. I am super excited to be on this call with all of you guys. I do apologize about the technical difficulties. YouTube was being hard on me this morning. I had to do a couple of things to get it all figured out. But we're here. We're ready to go. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. And at the end of the day, I just finished saying in the podcast, rejection is redirection, right? So there's a powerful message here today for all of you. And for some reason, they didn't want you to hear it, but we're going to make it happen regardless. So I want to thank you guys for, taking the time to jump on this call with me today and just being here. I think it's important that regardless of what happens, we still show up. So I was like, the fact that I'm being rejected right now just means that I got to get redirected in the right thing. And the fact that today's topic is unlocking the overflow in your life, I guess the enemy didn't want you guys to unlock the overflow of blessings that are about to come into all of your lives. So real quick, can we all type overflow in the chat box, right? Because for some weird reason today, out of all days, we were rejected with technical difficulties and YouTube didn't want to let me go live. And then there was something wrong with my Wi-Fi. And isn't it funny how whenever you're about to, whenever you're about to deliver a powerful message, there's always like something, there's an obstacle, there's something that tries to stop you. And they really did try to stop me. So I hope that nobody decided not to hop on this call, because this is going to be a good one. So I'm actually excited. So real quick, before we do get started, we do have to open up the floor with some gratitude, because we made it. We're here on the call today. Wi-Fi is good. Connection's good. I look good. The lighting looks good. Instagram is good. Everything is good right now. So we got to be grateful. So real quick, what's one thing that you're grateful for? Let me know in the chat box. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for my team, all of Digital Dynasty. I'm grateful for this whole entire community here within mornings with Nano, everything that we do here. We got over 200 plus people live right now, and it is growing. Share this with a friend, share this with a family member, share this with somebody. The call is officially live as we speak. I'm grateful for every single one of you that are live with me on this call. I'm grateful for my amazing painting. I love that painting. That painting is actually pretty cool. Let me move it over a little bit. There you go. Move it over a little bit so others can see it. And I'm just blessed. I'm blessed. I'm grateful to be here. And it's always amazing whenever I get a chance to do these calls. I want to give a huge shout out to somebody real quick on this call. I want to give a huge shout out to my sister, Sarah, all the way out in Sweden. She tagged me this morning on a post where she had just did her forgiveness letter, and it brought a lot of happiness and fulfillment to my heart, because I read it and I could tell how much weight was taken off of her shoulders. I could just feel the energy. And I don't know if anybody else did their forgiveness letter, what we talked about last week, but those things really, really are amazing. She's right there in the chat box, as you guys can see. She's absolutely amazing. One of my Swedish sisters. She's dope. I've known her for years now. And she did the forgiveness letter, and you can tell that there was just such weight taken off her shoulders when it comes to herself, when it comes to other people. And she said it, before you can forgive others, you got to forgive yourself. And did anybody else do their forgiveness letter? Because I can tell you guys right now that, there's a lot of amazing things happening. I remember how I felt when I did my forgiveness letter. I can only imagine how other people felt. So put a 1 in the chat box if you did it. And if you didn't do it, then let this be a reminder to do it. Okay, because these letters are so big, especially going into the month of May, right? It's such an important thing for us to do, right? For you to just let go of that negative energy, that bad energy that is not in alignment with you right now. I think it's important that we all do so. So, just keep that in mind. And if you haven't done a forgiveness letter, just real quick, a forgiveness letter is basically you forgiving yourself, for everything that you said you were going to do that you haven't done, forgiving yourself for, not keeping your word, forgiving yourself for not going to the gym, forgiving yourself for, not eating the proper foods, forgiving yourself for, not sticking to your routine, forgiving yourself for hurting somebody else, right? Like just sitting there and doing it. Trust me, like Regine said in the chat box, it's never too late to do it, guys. I know that sometimes we jump on these calls, we're just listening in, and maybe we may forget those things, but these are things that will help you out so much energetically. Okay, they will help you out so much energetically, because it'll release a lot of energy that you no longer need, that you no longer want to allow yourself to follow with. All right, so just keep that in mind. And then one more thing before we get into today's training. Today is April 30th. Okay, tomorrow is the start of May 1st. Okay, tomorrow is the start of a new month. So today would be a great day for you to do a April evaluation. Okay, I always teach you guys this, okay, but I'm going to repeat it again. All right, right now would be a perfect day for you to sit down right after this call and do an evaluation on how the month of April went for you. Okay, I usually ask myself 3 questions. These 3 questions have absolutely changed my life. I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions before we start this training. Number 1, what did you do well in the month of April? Okay, what did you do well in the month of April? Number 2, what didn't you do well in the month of April? Okay. And number 3 is, what improvements am I going to make in the month of May? Those 3 questions is going to help you out with so much clarity. It's going to help you out with having better direction. It's going to help you out with everything that you want to know going into this next month. And it'll give you a good breakdown. So take your journal at some point. All right. And I promise you guys, these 3 questions will change your life. If remember, you got to do things you've never done to get things you've never had. If you've never done an evaluation, this will be a great time for you to start doing evaluations. Evaluations, I can tell you guys, are at the top of my list of things that I've done, specific strategies that I've done month to month that have allowed me to grow, that have allowed me to elevate my mindset, that have allowed me to put myself in a better position each and every single month. Okay. So the 3 questions, one more time before we get into this training. Number one, what did you do well in the month of April? Give yourself credit for all the things you did well. Okay. So if you went to the gym this month, give yourself credit for it. If if you did your morning routine, if you read 10 pages a day, everything you did well this month, give yourself credit for it. Give yourself a pat on the back, because it's not always about the bad, it's also about the good. Okay, so the first thing you do is you ask yourself, what did you do well in April? Number two, what didn't you do well? Remember, this is a conversation between you and you. Okay, so you got to be real with yourself. What didn't you do well in April? Did you not do your morning routine in April? Did you not read? Did you not go to the gym? Did you not study? Did you not save money like you said you were going to save money? Like, what didn't you do well? Okay. And then the last question is, what improvements am I going to make in May? And usually the second question answers the third question. Because if you think about it, whatever you didn't do well in April, you want to do well in May. So that the improvements that you're going to make in May are based off of your answers to number two. Okay. So if we're all clear on that and you guys are ready to do your evaluations, put a 333 in the chat box if you guys are ready for that. Okay. Ready, 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 ready. Make sure you guys do those evaluations. Those are very, very valuable, guys. I'm telling you, life changers. Okay. If it wasn't for my evaluations, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, because my evaluations were able to allow me to realize what I was doing wrong and what I wasn't doing right. Okay. And this is what you want to put yourself in a position to do, because unless you write it down, you'll never know. Okay. Question number 3 was, what improvements am I going to make in May? You got to do that today, though. You can't wait, because already May is tomorrow. So if there was ever a perfect day for you to do your evaluation, the evaluation starts today. Okay. Now let's get started with today's training. All right. Enough of the small talk. All right. Let's get started with today's training. I'm going to do it in a good amount of time, because I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I want to be able to help you guys out here today. So I want to talk about unlocking the overflow. Okay. Now, before we can talk about overflow, all right, I think it's important that I basically define what the definition of overflow is. Okay. This is so important. All right. So, what is overflow? All right. It is the excess or surplus of a lot of, they say water, but usually it's the excess or the surplus is a lot. All right. Think about a lot. It's a surplus of a lot of blessings. It's the surplus. It's the overflow. Think about when something overflows. Think about this cup overflowing right here. There's more than enough already in it. Okay. Now, this month going into May can be that month for you. The month of May can be a month of overflow, but you got to accept it. You got to allow it in. You got to start speaking it and start, putting yourself in a position to receive it, because all of us deserve overflow, but we got to be ready for it, and we got to know how to unlock it. It's like a key. It's almost like a key that helps you unlock the door. And then when you unlock the door, the overflow of blessings come in. So put a 2 in the chat box if you're ready for your overflow in May. If you're ready for the overflow of blessings, you're ready for the overflow of money, you're ready for the overflow of people to join your business, if you're ready for the overflow of just everything that you've been looking forward to, if you're ready for that, put a 2 in the chat box, because I'm ready for that. Let me put some 2 in the chat box, right? I'm ready for my overflow. I'm ready for my overflow of blessings. I'm ready for my overflow of people to join my business in May. I'm ready for my overflow of money to flow through my life, right? I'm ready for that overflow. But there's a couple of things that we must do in order for us to unlock the overflow. All right. There's a couple of things we got to do. All right. Because we all deserve it. We do deserve it. But I got to teach you guys how to deserve it. Because in life, you don't get what you want. In life, you get what you deserve. So if you haven't got it yet, it's because you don't deserve it yet. All right. So let me teach you guys how to deserve the overflow. Let me teach you guys how to unlock the overflow. All right. Let's get right into it. Number one way to unlock the overflow is you must practice daily gratitude. I'm going to start it off very basic, very simple, but something that too many people don't do enough of. Okay. Unlock the overflow. Number one, it starts with practicing daily gratitude. Now, a lot of people don't do this, but we should be doing this a lot more. And it has to be intentional gratitude. It's not just, oh, hey, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. Intentional gratitude. And remember, it's not about just saying you're grateful, it's about feeling grateful. The feeling is the what, guys? The feeling is the, finish it for me in the chat. The feeling is the what? Is the secret. So if the feeling is the secret, it's not just about saying that you're grateful, it's about feeling the gratitude. You got to feel the gratitude in your heart. You got to really feel how grateful you are. Now, Neno, how do I feel it? Because look, right now I could sit here and I could be like, yeah, I'm grateful for my team. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my journal. I'm grateful for the books. But I'm just saying it. In reality, if you really think about it, I'm not even really feeling that right there. Me just saying that, like, yes, I'm saying I'm grateful for my family, but I'm not really feeling it yet. So one thing I've learned about feeling it is, if you really want to feel it, you have to take the time to write it down and actually feel it and explain why you're grateful. So why are you grateful for your family? Why are you grateful for your business partners? So how does that look like, Nano? Let me give you guys an example. Let's say one of the things I'm very grateful for, and I am extremely grateful for, is my team, the people that I'm surrounded by, my community, right? If I was to just be like, hey, I'm grateful for my community, that's cool. It sounds good. But what if now I say, I'm grateful for my community because boom, 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 boom. And I actually take the time to feel why I feel so grateful. I'm grateful for my community because each and every single day we push ourselves to become the best versions of ourselves. We practice collaboration over competition. We put God first. My community, I'm just so grateful for each and every single one of them, man. You have no idea how grateful I feel for every single person that's in my community. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all of them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, truly feel it. Like, you see there, I felt the gratitude for my community. But when I just said, hey, I'm grateful for my community, yes, it's cool. I hear it. Okay. I'm sure it sounds good. But if I actually take the time to realize why I'm grateful, that's the name of the game. It's the why you're grateful. Why are you grateful for your team? Why are you grateful for the money in your life? Why are you grateful for the books, the audios you're listening to? Why are you grateful? So what I've learned is, write down every day, practice daily gratitude. And this is what I had to do to unlock the overflow in my life, because you know what the problem with some of us are? The floodgates won't open until we practice gratitude for everything we have. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I was complaining years ago about the amount of money I was making. I was complaining about how much money I was making with my business and the size of my team and everything like that. And I was just complaining about where I was. I'm like, yo, I'm not making enough money. Like, I'm not, my team isn't big enough. Like, my business is just slow, so on and so forth. And remember, these are the words that I'm speaking to my mentor. So my mentor looks at me and he says, it sounds like you're complaining, bro. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just expressing my frustration. He's like, I feel you. I understand that. But not once did I hear you say what you're grateful for. And I'm like, bro, what is there to be grateful for? I'm broke. I barely have any money. My team isn't growing anything. And I'm like, he's like, you see, that's your problem. He said, let me ask you a question, right? Is there people out there that are making less money than you? And I'm like, probably. Is there people out there that barely have an online business that they get a chance to work from home? I'm like, yes. He started to give me all of these things. And he's like, bro, those are things to be grateful for, because there's people that would die to be in your position right now. But you're complaining about the position that you're in. So how is God and the universe ever going to give you more if you're not grateful for what you have right now? You got to be grateful for those $600 a month. You got to be grateful for the team of 10, 20 people that you have in your business. You got to be grateful that you have access to an online business that you can build right from the comfort of your phone, right? You got to be grateful that you have access to this information. You got to be grateful for everything that you have now in order for God and the universe to give you more to be grateful for. Because if you're not grateful for what you have now, why am I going to give you more? And then I sat there and I was like, sheesh. And I realized how ungrateful I was being. I realized how ungrateful I was being for what I had, even though I didn't have much. I didn't have much. But because I was comparing myself, because I was looking at this person, I was looking at that person, I was looking at this person, they all had so much. This person was making this amount of money. This person had a huge team. This person's business was in momentum. Everybody's working, everybody thing. And then little Nano over here barely has anything. But because I was comparing myself, that's why they say comparison is the thief of all joy. Because I was comparing myself to the people on social media, because I was comparing myself to my business partners, because I was comparing myself to somebody else's chapter 10 when I was in chapter 2, I was ungrateful for what I had. So sometimes we got to remember that we got to be grateful for what you have right now. Think about it. You got to be grateful that you can even watch this call from your laptop, from your iPhone, or from your iPad. You got to be grateful that you have access. You got to be grateful that you have access to a Wi-Fi connection. You got to be grateful that you have a roof over your head. You got to be grateful for your job, right? Because your job pays the bills. You got to be grateful for the people in your life, regardless of what's happening in your life. You got to be grateful. But remember, it's not just being grateful. It's explaining why you are grateful. Why are you grateful for your family? Why are you grateful for your job? Why are you grateful for the money that you have in your life? And it may not be much, but be grateful for it. Be grateful that you have that bit of money. Be grateful that you have a business that you can work online. Be grateful. Find gratitude in the littlest things. And you know what's the amazing part about it, guys? I started to practice that gratitude every single day. Every day I would wake up and I would write down 5 things that I was grateful for and why I was grateful for them. Every day I started to do it. Every single day when I woke up, I practiced gratitude, right? Because what people don't understand is that gratitude is the source where all good things come from. You want to unlock more. You want more blessings. You want more money. You want a bigger house. You want a bigger this. You got to be grateful for what you have now. The reason God blessed me with my own apartment was because I was grateful for the 3-bedroom apartment that I grew up in with my parents. I used to complain about living there. And then you know what? I started to be grateful for it. Next thing you know, I have my own apartment. I started to be grateful for the $600 a month, the $1,000 a month that I was making, but genuinely grateful, not just saying it because I wanted to say, no, I was genuinely grateful that I was like, yo, I'm so grateful that I'm making these extra $600, $1,000 a month each and every single month. Thank you so much, God. Like, I am so blessed and grateful because the fact that I'm doing this right from my home and right from the comfort of my phone, it just makes me feel so good. So thank you for these $1,000 for this month. Thank you. I am just so grateful for these $1,000. I feel amazing that I'm earning this amount of money. I started to change my perspective. So guess what? Because I started to change my perspective, everything else changed. Because I started to be grateful for the little things. And because I was grateful for the little things, I automatically unlocked everything else that I was looking for. I'll give you guys another quick story time real quick. I was building my business. And I was very close to, getting to the next level in my business. And I reached out to my mentor. I'm a very mentor-mentee kind of guy, right? I'm always looking for guidance. So I called my mentor and I'm like, yo, I'm very close to unlocking a new level in my business. I need your help. Like, what should I do? And I'm over here thinking like, yo, how many people do I need to call? How many calls do I need to do? How many more presentations? How many more events do I need to do? And I'm calling him and I'm like, yo, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And I'm thinking he's going to give me a game plan on how to go out there and do a certain amount of presentations, pack out an event, boom, boom, boom. And you know what he told me to do? He said, I want you to do me this favor. He said, I want you to take the time today. I don't want you to do no phone calls. I don't want you to do no presentations. I don't want you to schedule no events. He says, you know what I want you to do? He says, I want you to text everybody that has played a part in this journey with you and tell them thank you individually. Now I'm like, yo, what is that going to do? He said, just do it. He said, just text everybody individually. Thank you. Thank you for helping me for this journey. Thank you for being there for me. He just told me to thank everybody that was there with me. He said, the rest will happen on its own. He said, just take the time to thank those people. And I'm like, okay, coach, you're right. So I spent the day texting everybody individually. I texted, let me say, for example, I texted all the leaders. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But it wasn't just like a, hey, thank you for, no, it was like a very thankful message individually. It wasn't like I copy and pasted and individually, I sent a different message to everybody. And I explained why I was grateful for them. You know what ended up happening? Those individuals, because I was grateful for them, because I expressed my gratitude, they were willing to do whatever it took to help me get to that next level. And within 48 hours, it was done. So what I was stuck with, I was stuck. Think about it. I was stuck trying to get to that next level, working on it, trying to figure out what I needed to do physically. All I needed to do was be thankful. All I needed to do was practice gratitude and just be grateful for what I had already. Grateful for the leaders, grateful for the amount of money, grateful for the tools. Next thing you know, 48 hours later, it happened. Something that was taking me weeks to figure out happened in a matter of 48 hours. Why? Because I practiced gratitude. You know what that does? That unlocks the floodgates. Because the two, and let me see who my OG Mornings with Nano people are. Let's see who actually pays attention on this call. What are the two highest forms of emotions? There's two high forms of emotions. What are they? Let me see who actually knows this. I want to see who actually knows. What are the two highest forms of emotions? The two highest vibrations of emotions. Of course, Holly knows. Of course, you know, Holly. Love and gratitude. Those are the two highest forms of emotions. Love and gratitude. Holly's been rocking with me since like 2019. So I would hope you know that, sis. You know what I'm saying? Love and gratitude. Love and gratitude are the two highest forms of emotions that you can express. So think about it. Me sending out those messages, me talking to those individuals, you know what that unlocked? I was vibrating at the highest form of emotions. I was expressing love and I was expressing gratitude. Guys, every single day, I'm telling you, for the whole month of May, I challenge all of you for the whole month of May, every day to write down 5 things that you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them. And every day it has to be 5 new things. Every day it has to be 5 new things. Because eventually what ends up happening is this. By week 2, you're going to be looking for things to be grateful for. You know, week 1, you'll start with the basic things, your mom, your dad, your business, the money, this, your house, blah, blah, blah. But then next thing you know, once you get rid of all the basic things, you're going to now start looking for the littlest things. Bro, I remember writing down, I'm grateful for the trees outside because they allow me to, breathe clean air. And I started being grateful for the most randomest things because I had to find the littlest things to be grateful for. So the first way to unlock the overflow in your life is gratitude. Practice daily gratitude. All right. This is very important. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2. All right. Get ready. I'm going to get right into this. You got to clear the mental blocks. All right. We got to clear mental blocks. We have to do this. You won't unlock the overflow if you have mental blocks. And there's a lot of mental blocks. All right. A lot of us have a lot of limiting beliefs. Have a lot of doubts, fears, insecurities. Okay. You got to get rid of those things. All right. Those mental blocks is what's truly stopping you from receiving. You can't receive something positive if your mind is negative. You can't receive blessings if you're worried about and complaining about what you have. You got to clear the mental blocks, family. And a lot of those mental blocks were self-inflicted. We created those mental blocks. We created it with our thinking. We created it with the things that we heard from other people. We got to clear the mental blocks. We block ourselves. We're allowing the challenges in our lives to be blocks. We're allowing certain people in our lives to be blocks. We're allowing our negative thinking to be blocks. We're allowing our lack of money to be blocks. We're allowing the comparison of others to be blocks in our lives. We got to clear all of that. Nano, how do I clear it? The way I did it was through daily meditation. I cleared all my mental blocks and all of that stuff through daily meditation. Okay. Daily meditation and journaling is what allowed me to clear my mental blocks. Because remember, write this down. In order for you to defeat the enemy, you got to know the enemy. I'm going to repeat it again. For you to defeat the enemy, if you want to defeat the enemy, you got to know the enemy. Okay? So the enemy is the negative thoughts, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities. All these things are mental blocks in your life. And because you have those mental blocks, you can't receive. You can't receive what you want. Because remember, I want you guys to understand this. If you are not in a state of gratitude, if you're not feeling good, then your hands are closed. Your hands are closed. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If I was to be thrown a blessing, can I catch with my hands closed? Yes or no? Right? Can I catch a blessing with my hands closed? I can't catch a blessing if my hands are closed. I can't. And right now, you're being thrown blessings, believe it or not, but you can't catch them if you have mental blocks. Because your mind is filled with negativity, doubts, fears, insecurity. So because it's filled with that, you can't catch blessings because your hands are closed. The only way you can catch the blessings is if your hands are open. But the only way your hands are open is you must be in a state of gratitude. You must be in a state of joy, happiness, no doubt, no fears, no insecurities, only positive thoughts. You want to catch the blessings, your hands got to be open to receive. A lot of people's hands are closed, so they can't catch the blessings. And the reason why your hands are closed is because of the mental blocks that you have. You got to get rid of them. I went and meditated outside every day for years to get rid of mental blocks. I sat there in silent meditation and just paid attention to my thoughts. Yo, why do I have this thought? Okay. Where did this come from? I started to doubt myself because my parents were doubting me. One of the reasons I was doubting myself was because of my parents. And my friends were doubting me. And the relationship that I was in at the time was doubting me. Everybody around me was doubting me. So that caused mental doubt in my mind, right? I realized that the reason why I have such negative thoughts was because of the people that I was surrounded by the people that I was surrounded with. All the negative thoughts that I was having, I'm like, yo, these are not even my thoughts. These are other people's thoughts that are around me. So I started to realize, remember, in order to defeat the enemy, you got to know the enemy. So while I was sitting in meditation, these thoughts would come to me, but now I'm aware of them. I'm aware of where the doubt is coming from. I'm aware of where my fear is coming from now, right? My fear of rejection, my fear of all of these things that I used to have, my fear of this came from things that happened in the past where I got made fun of, where I got rejected by somebody, rejected by a business partner, rejected by a girl. A lot of that fear of rejection, I started to dig deep down and realize why I was having these fears, Why do I have a fear of talking to people? Why do I have a fear of putting my face on the camera and talking to people? Why do I have this fear? I got down to the root cause of it. Where did it start? I got rid of it. I started to work on it. Okay. I started to become aware of where my fear was coming from. I started to become aware of where my doubt was coming from, where my negative thoughts were coming from. Believe it or not, guys, a lot of your negative thoughts come from your environment and the people that you spend time with, because their thoughts become your thoughts. Their limiting beliefs become your limiting beliefs. Their fears, their doubts become your fears and your doubts. Because they feel like they can't do something, they pass it on to you. Remember, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it could only be transferred. So if you hang around people that doubt themselves, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to transfer that energy of doubt to you. If you hang around people that are filled with fear, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to transfer that energy of fear over to you. Why do you think they say that the people that you spend the most time with is one of the most important decisions that you make in your life? Because if you're surrounded with people that are filled with fear, doubt, insecurity, lack mindset, then that energy is going to transfer over to you whether you want it or not. These are the people you're spending time with. These are the people you're sharing energy with. Okay? Right? If right now a bad energy person was to walk into a room that we were all in, we would immediately feel it. We would be like, wait, hold up, yo, that guy's energy is off. Especially for my ladies, you guys' intuition is absolutely amazing. You guys would feel the energy immediately. Why? Because the energy transferred. The guy walked in the room, he had bad energy. We right away felt the energy, like, yo, that guy's energy is off. So the thing is, look, I used to think I couldn't do things because my friends couldn't do it. I used to doubt myself because my friends were doubting themselves. I used to think negative because the people I was around were thinking negative. I used to think that I had a lack of money because everybody around me had a lack of money. And even when I used to bring up the idea of wanting to become more, people would laugh at me. I always tell the story about this guy that I went to McDonald's with, right? I did a presentation for this guy in McDonald's. Listen to this story time. I went to McDonald's, right? I lived across the street when I was in New York and I was first building my business. I lived right across the street from a McDonald's. And it was like the only place that had really good Wi-Fi, that had good seating, whatever. So I went to McDonald's and I sat with this guy who wanted to know more about my business. And I'm telling him about my business. I'm breaking it down to him. And I'm telling him like, yo, look, like because of this, like, and I start telling him a little bit about my dreams. And I'm like, bro, you know, I'm gonna buy a house one day in San Diego, California. I'm gonna have a house on the cliff. I'm gonna have my penthouse in Miami on the water. I'm gonna travel the world to all these different countries, bro. Like this business is gonna change my life. Now, mind you, I'm broke living in my neighborhood at that time, but I'm giving him like my dreams, my goals. I told him, yo, I'm gonna become a world-renowned speaker. I'm gonna be a mindset. Everything that I live today, I was telling him that back then. And you know what he told me after he sat there very patiently, nodding his head, like, yeah, dope. And then when I was done speaking, you know what he told me? He said, bro, you got to be more realistic, bro. He's like, do you seriously believe that you can accomplish those things? Bro, like, chill out, bro. You grew up right here. Like, dude, you live in a 3-bedroom apartment with your parents. What are you talking about? Living in a house, penthouse on the beach and world-renowned speaker and travel the world. He told me that to my face, literally just like that. You're like, bro, you really think you could do that, bro? Like, are you serious? Like, bro, he said, bro, be more realistic, be humble. Like, I get it, bro. Like, you're super excited about this business and, you know, you're excited about it. But, bro, you got to be more realistic, bro. Look at where we grew up at. And I sat there. I couldn't even believe that he told me that. This is somebody I grew up with. This was somebody that I was trying to, you know, he does follow me on IG. He's never said anything to me since then. But it's funny because I didn't even want him to join my business after that. He literally told me that to my face. And what he was doing there was he was trying to express his limiting beliefs on me. He didn't believe he could move out of the hood. He didn't believe he could travel the world. He didn't believe any of those things. But sometimes, like I said, the people around us are thinking too small. Some people told me that, yo, and you know what I did? I just finished the presentation. I'm like, yo, hit me up if you want to join or not. He didn't even have the money to get started. He didn't even have the money to join the business at the time. I'm like, yo, hit me up if you want to, bro. I didn't even want him to hit me up. I just told him, yo, hit me up if you ever need any help, my G. Bro, we gotta think bigger much sooner. We gotta think bigger much sooner. And you know what I did? I used that as fuel. My friends and family, they used to doubt me all the time. I used it as fuel. Everybody who doubted me, I used it as fuel. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show you one day. Today, they have nothing to say to me. As a matter of fact, a lot of people, I know this may sound a little bit crazy, but there's people that are close to me that don't support me because they know how much they doubted me and it hurts them. I know people personally that won't support me, won't buy my merch, won't even repost my podcast, bro. You know why? Because of all the that they talk behind my back of saying, yo, this guy Nano's crazy, this, that, blah, 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 blah. They won't even support me now because they saw that everything I told them that I said I was going to do, it came real. They won't even support me now. My friends, family, people I grew up with, people that I love to death, but they won't support me because they know they can't support me publicly because of everything they said behind my back in private. They can't do it. They want to do it. But guess what? They said so much things behind my back privately that they can't support me publicly. So they rather not support me publicly because guess what? There's people that are following them that will be like, yo, this guy is fake as hell. The other day he was saying this, and that, and today. So I just pray for them. Yeah, exactly, TT. That's all I could do is pray for them. Because that's the reality of the situation. You got to remember that, guys. A lot of people sometimes may not support you during this journey. They won't, unfortunately. Just use it as fuel. That's what I did. I'm like, all right. I still use it as fuel to this day. I'm like, all right, we're going to see. We're going to see. Everything I ever said I was going to do, I did it. I told them I was going to travel the world. I've been to 25 different countries, 26 to be exact. I told them I was going to become a world-renowned speaker. I've done that. I told them I was going to have a top podcast. I did that. I told them I was going to build a business in 20 plus different countries. I did that. Everything I said I would do, I did it. But I used everything of their doubts, their fears, and everything as fuel. So going back to it, you got to clear the mental blocks. And in order for you to know the enemy, you got to defeat the enemy. Okay, that's number 2. This is so important. So important. All right. Number 3, something I teach you guys every single day. All right. Discipline with your self-development routine. I say this every call, but I got to say it again. The discipline with your daily self-development routine is the key. As a matter of fact, I was talking about this yesterday on my Mornings with Nano for the private group that I do with MMX. I was letting them know, I let everybody know, I'm like, yo, you don't deserve blessings because you haven't been disciplined enough. Some of us, our biggest problems is our discipline, is our consistency. How do you think God and the universe is going to bless you if you haven't even proven that you can be disciplined for 30 days? You haven't even proven that you can be disciplined with your own self-development routine for 30 days. How you think God is going to bless you? Never. It will never happen. The whole year will pass. You haven't been disciplined with your self-development. Self. You prioritize everything else. You prioritize your job. You prioritize Instagram. You prioritize hanging out with your friends. You prioritize taking your girlfriend or boyfriend on dates. You prioritize everything else, but you don't prioritize you. But you want your life to change. It'll never happen because you don't prioritize you, and you are the